Hello everyone, how are you? This is yours truly, Triple G, coming at you once again. And today we are going to be taking a look together at the PRS S2 McCarty 594.
Hey guys, this is Gus G and you're watching Guitar Gear Guy. Thank you for tuning in.
Those of you who are new to this channel, this is where I give you unsolicited, unbiased opinion and thoughts from a non-professional weekend warrior chump, guy next door, that sort of a vibe, view, and things of that nature. So if you have not subscribed, please click the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so that I can come see you more often every time I put out one of these videos. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is the S2 designation of this guitar, which those of you who are familiar with PRS, I'm sure you are, because that's how you landed on this video. So S2 represents Stevensville 2. So this is a lineup of guitars that Paul Reed Smith puts out in between the SE import model and the core line of guitars that are US made. So S2 sits right in the middle. So it is still USA made. However, I believe some of the parts are either import made. Also, some cost cutting measures implemented to lower the overall cost of the guitar while maintaining the integrity and the craftsmanship and all the good stuff that goes with the US made PRS. So you are going to lose some of the finer appointments versus the core model, such as the tuners and the top of the guitar. If you've noticed, it is beveled. It is not carved like violin top of a US core model. And the pickup model numbers are designated S, which I think they're spec, the US spec, but possibly wound overseas in Korea. And things like the classic old school bird inlay, SO, because PRS has moved on from the solid birds to silhouette birds or the brushstroke birds for their fancier core line of US made guitars. So you lose those appointments that set the core line apart from the S2. But you still get the excellent PRS quality and vibe in this model. For instance, if you look at this bridge, you know, things like that, the PRS speed knobs, excellent binding that is done on the neck, and the great maple top if it can transfer over through the camera. Now, of course, the maple top is not their 10 top quality or even private stock wood library quality, but nonetheless, this is a very fancy looking guitar. Now that we've talked about S2 designation, we now need to talk about McCarty, as it shows right here on the truss rod cover. So McCarty designates Ted McCarty, who was the CEO of Gibson USA back in the day when Gibson was at the very forefront. Mr. McCarty played a key role in Gibson's uprise at the time and has been an inspiration to Paul Reed Smith over the years. Hence, there's a signature model of Ted McCarty through PRS, who was the CEO of Gibson. And then the model's name also is designated 594, and that means the scale length from here to here is 24.594 inches. So that is basically about 24.5 inches scale length, which is a full 1 inch shorter than your Fender brothers. And the scale length also represents, it's shorter even than 24.75 inches of Gibson Les Pauls and such. So now let's talk about the spec of this guitar. The body is a solid mahogany. The back of the neck is also mahogany. And as mentioned earlier, the top is flamed maple top with the fretboard being the rosewood. The fretboard is also 10-inch radius and 22 frets. And as mentioned also earlier, 24.594 inches in scale length. And arguably one of the highlights of this guitar being the two-piece zinc bridge hardtail. And something that I was extremely attracted to, which are the Kluson style tuning machine. I love that super white tuning heads, and the back of the tuning heads look like that. Again, Kluson style. And the back of the neck also is it's not satin finish, so you know, if you have sweaty hands, you may get stuck every now and then, but I have extremely dry hands, so I don't have that problem. Pickups, again, as mentioned earlier, 5815 S line of pickups, and if you ask me, the pickups are just, you know, they're not hot, and this overall instrument is vintage inspired instrument, so you're not gonna get super screaming hot pickups. They're extremely versatile to me, to my ears, especially the neck pickup is very round and very warm, and the bridge pickup just punches right through, and just pickups are just so musical and just rings through and through, and I'm just really loving the pickups. As far as the control is concerned, you have a one tone and one volume dedicated to each pickup, and through the pull push knob you can also split your coils in your pickups. So as far as the initial impression of the guitar is concerned, when you first pick it up, get it out of its deluxe gig bag, it seemed very light. It is definitely lighter than majority of the PRS guitars that I own. I have the Custom 22, I have Custom 24, I have Tremonti, I have CE, I have SE line of the PRS Custom 24, and out of the camera angle I also have a SC245, and this guitar is definitely one of the lighter ones out of the bunch. However, when you hold this guitar, you instantly get that PRS vibe and quality. It has that, you know, PRS, the familiar PRS feel and the vibe, and I think that might come from the neck carve. And all the body contour that's been given, the belly cut and the bevel right here, Just super comfortable to strap it on and sit down and just wail away at it. Set aside from, you know, if you are familiar with PRS and you know the core line has the violin, like the carved top, and this being have a somewhat of a flat top, if you could look past that, and if you are blindfolded and you hold this guitar and you are playing it, dare I say, haters may hate, dare I say, you may have a super hard time distinguishing between this and the US core line of guitars, which costs $3,600. And if you're paying for 10 top, you're at $4,200. And lo and behold, if you have money burning a hole in your pocket, you get to the private stock. Now, you know, it's just whatever they call it is the price. So this thing costing at $1,600, that is a tremendous value proposition if you ask me. Now, this guitar, I'm gonna sum it up as sum of all the parts. And I don't mean each individual part that's used in this guitar being awesome or whatnot. Because I can inevitably see some people may complain about the tuning machine not being a locking tuners, and some people may complain about the nut being, you know, the Graphtec just nut, not a bone nut or anything. And some people may complain about, you know, whatever else. Now, so each individual part you may be able to pick apart and say certain things about it. However, when I say sum of all parts, I mean how an instrument comes together via all the components used collectively. So all these parts come together and you make this guitar, and the final product, the guitar as a whole, is just a such fine piece of instrument, just well executed, well built. There is not a blemish on this guitar, just an awesome guitar, right? Every time you talk about a musical instrument, of course you want the instrument to sound musical, but the way this guitar sounds to me is each note really jumps out of the guitar, and I could only describe it as the notes just sing, and the tone and the musical notes that the guitar generates in the right hands of a right player, unlike me, it's very musical to my ears, and that's, I think, where this guitar really truly shines. And the guitar being vintage inspired, this guitar really can cover wide array of genres, and you know, maybe it is not suitable for, you know, extreme gore metal or, you know, whatever you want to call it, but from something soft to something just hard paced, just ruckus rock, the guitar can just cover all of it. So if you are a gigging musician and you happen to travel with just one guitar, dare I say, I probably think you may be covered with this guitar. This PRS with the S2 moniker, at its price point, with all the appointments and all the things that this guitar gives you at the fraction of cost of a US made core line of PRS, you're really not missing out a whole heck of a lot. And I've got plenty of US PRS, the core line of PRS guitars, and this thing holds its weight, if not surpass certain models in its own right. I don't know when it started, but at some point the whole guitar industry where we are now paying $1,500 easy for Indonesian import guitars. So by the time you pay 100 or 200 extra to get the US made PRS S2 line of guitar, like this McCarty 594, it's hard to argue the value proposition that this guitar represents. Not to knock the Indonesian imports. I love some of the Indonesian import models that I have from various different manufacturers, but this right here epitomizes the PRS's renowned craftsmanship and just the artistry in instrument building coupled with value. I mean, you would really be hard-pressed to find a better instrument at this price point, import or American-made. So if I were a stockbroker, I would advise you that this would be a very strong buy. All right, all right, so that video really sounded like a PRS homer, but you know, I don't even know if I should be really called that, because I love all manufacturers equally. I own how many guitars I don't even know now. But I mean, I don't have the core line of McCarty 594. This is the only McCarty 594 that I have in the S2 iteration. But this guitar is just so awesome. I really didn't have a whole lot of negative things to come on here and say. I think PRS really hit it out of the park with this execution here. It's just super well built. Sounds awesome in person, in right hands. I really can't do the guitar any justice with my crap playing, but it is really, really an awesome instrument. So again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your time watching. I appreciate each and every one of you watching my video. And if it helps with just one person considering this guitar, and if my video helps out that one person, that is all that matters to me. I'm not here to get millions of views. I don't do YouTube full time. So this is my way of giving it back to the community, spending my own time putting these things out so that you can benefit from me spending my own money and going through, putting it through its pace and sharing my opinion with you. Okay, so that's it for this episode. Hopefully I can come back and see you again very, very soon. Thank you for your time. You've been awesome. I've been Triple G. Until next time, you guys all take care and be good humans.